Don't want a lot for Christmas. There's just, what's the words? There's just one more thing I need. I don't care about the presents. What she said. Underneath the Christmas tree. I just want you on my own. More than you could ever know. I know my neighbors is pissed right now, but it's okay. What's the rest of the words? Make my wish come true. All I want for Christmas. Here we go. He's you. Mariah. Mariah. Yo, what if she dead came out with a remix, low key for the streets? Fuck the streets up real quick. I want to be mad. You know, Mariah is the queen of the remixes, the urban remixes. She definitely knows how to tap into that other side of her very well.
Not
So,
the other side, yo. I'm screaming.
but what's up, y'all? I had to get that song on my heart because as soon as it hit November 1st, 12 a.m. on the dot, we know exactly what season has officially begun. You know, Megan, she has the hot girl, Halloween, but Miss Mariah has Thanksgiving and Christmas because if you are Caribbean, you started putting up your tree from right now. So, that being said, shout out to the holidays. But this is the Reasonable Dialogue podcast. You know, your girls is back here in this beautiful, smelling, looking, luxurious condo as we look at the view as we record. Anyways, it's your girl DJ Miss Milan.
It's your girl Jazz. Hey y'all.
And it's your girl Young Sneak.
21. Remember that Vine? 21. I was telling my homegirl the other day, well, not the other day, yesterday. I was telling my homegirl, I was like, I realize how chronically online I am because I can legitly see any kind of funny meme or hear a line and automatically know that it's from a TikTok or something like that. Like, I don't know if that's happening to y'all, but I'm like, damn, maybe I need to take a little social media break because I'm catching too many memes and shit like that. I'm like, damn, I'm really
I
online.
really feel like that's how you know your tribe. Like if I can say a TikTok thing or call out a line from Real Housewives of Atlanta and you catch it or finish the
True.
sentence, we're sisters.
True. I feel that. It's like they say, if you could send like, GIFs and, just have conversations based off like, memes and GIFs, then, we probably soulmates low key.
I have a slight desire to be able to catch the references, but I can't. And I hate it because I always be like, huh?
Oh, you're that friend. We got to explain it to you. Well, let me send you the TikTok so you get what we're talking about. Head ass now.
No, literally, that shouldn't piss me off, but oh well.
Like if I say that's why I got the problems I got, like somebody might you see, or the Jet 2 holiday. That was the funniest. Like
Yes, I think the Jet 2 holiday was the most popular one by
I
far.
need that one. Okay.
Yes. Darling, hold your hands. Nothing beats the Jet 2 holiday. Okay. Anyways, y'all, it is a lot going on this past weekend, y'all. It was Halloween weekend. I don't know about y'all, but growing up, I was really not allowed to trick or treat, you know, going outside in these streets, but I was allowed to celebrate Halloween, which was, I guess, just the Caribbean way of saying, don't leave this house. You know what I'm saying? Like, you could dress up in your costumes and, you know what I'm saying? We'll put candy outside, but I don't want no kids coming to my house type shit, whatever. But it was a lot going on. And for me personally, I did not enjoy this year's Halloween costumes. I was very, very, very underwhelmed with all of the costumes this year. And that let me know this is a big, like, recession indicator, as the kids say on on Twitter because I was like, damn, nobody's costumes is really popping like that. Everyone's doing the meme trend where they're not really like, dressing up. They're doing like more so photo shoots, which is I feel like is a completely new thing that's happening. But I don't know. I spent a lot of my weekend not only in these streets performing with my good sis for this tour, but just looking at these costumes, and I was just very underwhelmed this year for Christmas. So I don't know. Did y'all see anything that was interesting?
You say for Christmas, girl. You really
I
ready
mean,
for
yeah,
Christmas.
I'm really ready for Christmas, and I'm half tired. I'm not gonna lie, but no. Did y'all see anything for this past Halloween?
I really love Taraji. I think she won for me. Taraji and then Leah Morris, they did a an ode to Outkast, and
Oh
which it was
yes.
ironic because it was I think the 10-year or 20-year anniversary of the album
Mm-hmm.
that they did the photo shoot for. It was fire. I thought that was fire. I think Taraji fucking ate.
Yeah, it's interesting because I literally have a god sister that can vouch for me. I have been planning that I get so lonely Halloween costume for 5 years. Like, and she killed it. Like, but it was that one specifically. Like, if my god sister was here, she'll tell you, like, yeah, she was gonna do it in 2021, but she didn't have a wig. And then, but I
I
will
have the
say
wig.
I did it. I did have the wig. I wanted that red specific wig to be Janet Jackson. So shout out to Taraji. I agree. Yeah, and that one was dope. I too have to agree with Milan. I felt like the costumes this year were horrible. Uh, I just gotta be honest. There were a few that were like, yes, like girl, but like I don't know what was going on this year. Like it was a mess. It was a mess. But shout out to the woman who was Nene Leakes this year. She ate it down. And a bunch of people have tried to do Nene Leakes or recreate it, but I gotta shout her out. I don't want to say her name wrong. The Bean Go Go. I even seen Nene Leakes comment and jump in, and yeah, I think she did Nene the best. But we gotta talk about it, sisters. We gotta talk about it. We gotta talk about Miss Kayla Nicole.
Uh, yes. The
I'll be
double
honest.
entendre Halloween costume that shook the world.
She ate that. I'm sorry.
She
That's
ate
my
it
brand of
down.
petty.
And I'm gonna be honest, I wasn't like in the whole Kayla Nicole world. I'm gonna be honest, I really was not aware of, her audience and what she brings to the table in terms of media personality and all of that. I wasn't, and it's no
Hmm.
shade for her at all. I just wasn't in that world or knowing what was happening. But baby, I tapped in this weekend. Oh, tens across the board. Not only tens across the board, but if you want to get funny, I'll get hilarious. That was hilarious. That was hilarious. And the body was tea. And then to have a legend like Tony Braxton, champion you and repost it. Like, I'm sorry that she did that. That was nice. I like that. So I like that. And that's pretty much it.
Yes. No, I agree. I did like her costume, and I did like the fact of the message behind it being
Yeah.
F you to both. As people were saying, because I seen this online, because I would have never honestly thought of it until I seen somebody mention it, but it definitely was a fuck you to, Miss Cakey Swifty and her officer looking boyfriend over the debacle of what is it called, Opiolite, that album she dropped, and I mean Life of a Showgirl, but the song Opiolite, I believe that's a song where she's kind of like trying to come at his exes per se, specifically Kayla Nicole. But I loved it. I loved it. Anytime a black woman does something, I'm always gonna be in support of it. Like you're never not gonna catch me giving a round of applause, baby shake that ass. You know what I'm saying? So when she did that, I was like, okay, Kayla. I mean, she's been having a run since the whole Chris Brown little, dance for you
I
debacle
saw
and
that.
this whole situation. The only thing I do not like is them considering her his ex when they mention her. It's like she doesn't have an identity, which I can understand. Also on the other side, like you were known for being his girlfriend at a point in time, but I think it is very distasteful, and I kind of feel like it's done more so to the black women because
Oh,
it's
for
like
sure.
you are his, you're only going to be known for being his ex. You're never going to be known for anything else. And I'm sure she does other things outside of being his ex-girlfriend. If we're going to be, serious, it may not be on the same levels as, Miss Swifty here, but I don't think we need to compare exes at all, if we're being honest. So I did like it, and I thought it was really cute. She looked good, body tea, you know what I'm saying? Like,
Body is tea.
get your lick back, sis. Get your lick back.
And I think too, like, to your point, I think this did, because like I said, it did for me. This opened up a world for people to know her identity outside from the fucking gingerbread, because I loved, I personally loved seeing, reading about her background and sports journalism and having her own fitness brand and things like that. So, shout out to her. I will say, shout out to her.
Yes, which I think is the reason how she even got into Travis. Not saying that she got into sports journalism for him, but I don't know. I think I seen that somewhere. Like her personal pathway was in alignment to them dating. It wasn't like she was seeking a baller type of, situation. It's like black girls do have education and can shake that ass, ladies and gentlemen. It's called duality. You're welcome.
Okay. I love that.
I love that. I love that. But yeah, I think the Halloween costumes was underwhelming. I just know Heidi Klum and Janelle Monáe are going to be king and queen, because I haven't seen a man take over Halloween except for the stylist. I forgot his name. Byron Javar, I believe. Byron Javar. He actually did the styling for our good sister Taraji for the Janet Jackson. Yeah.
Okay.
And he does all of like Marseille's styling and things of that nature. So he's really good when it comes to styling. He did all of the Janet looks for Taraji. So he also is hilarious when it comes to Halloween costumes for what I've seen. But one shout out I do want to give is this girl. I don't know her name, but when I say every time I come across that video, she's been doing it before Halloween, but she acts as Dragonfly Jones from Martin. I don't know if y'all seen this girl. She be having me in tears, because when I say to a T, like the mannerisms, like how she sounds, just everything about her is A1. So shout out to that good sister that plays as Dragonfly Jones. I know she'll be having her husband and her stepmama in stitches, because I be crying every time I see her videos. But that's my kind of funny. That's my level of funny, goofy girls. Like, you know what I'm saying? Maybe thinking women aren't funny. Like, no, we're actually hilarious, nigga. But yeah.
I would say too. I feel like I like Sierra's outfit. She did a Michael Jackson tribute, and her outfit was fire too.
I saw that, and I'm glad you mentioned her, because I liked Coco Jones as well as the Dream.
Oh yeah,
I like her.
Oh, it's Dreamgirls, right?
Yeah, that was a really good one too. Yeah, I like the visual element. Also, that was real cute.
Yes. I think like when you're rich, you're supposed to go big. You know what I'm saying? Give me all the bells and the whistles. Like, don't shortstop yourself or shortstop us, because we deserve the best. This is why I really like Heidi Klum and Janelle Monáe when they go in on their Halloween costumes, because it's like, we know you got the money and the funds and the resources. You know,
It might have been Heidi Klum. I'm not sure if it was her, but was she the one who did the Jackie? What the fuck is
Kennedy?
Jackie Kennedy. Is she the one who did that?
No, that was Julia Fox.
Okay, so I like that one. I'm not gonna lie. I saw the backlash about it, but I thought it was fire.
Yes, and she made a whole statement basically saying that it wasn't a costume, it's a statement. That's very white of her, I'm gonna be honest. Like, bitch, this was a costume. Let's be honest here. It's okay. If it was a statement, you would wear any other day other than Halloween.
Right.
Catch it.
I'm glad we mentioned Heidi though, because Heidi is another queen of Halloween. Like, when I think of Halloween, she throws her parties and stuff too. She be going in.
Yeah.
I did like one last one. And it was last minute, but it was interesting. Phaedra Parks dressed as the Godfather.
Goodness.
And she went in, like, she had the face aesthetic, the hair slicked back, but that was interesting.
Shady Faye, very fitting.
I guess my last one. I really appreciate some of the little kids' costumes. Like I see, I forgot whose son it was. It might have been no, I don't know whose son it was, but they had a Poe costume on the baby. From Teletubbies, and it was just such a throwback because, like, I remember in high school for one of our pajama days, I dressed up as Poe, and it was just like, oh, Teletubbies. I didn't even realize they still got the kids watching that. And then
Right.
I seen another baby, or not a baby, she's like a toddler dressed up as Pooh, and then they had her with a tiger and piglet stuffed animal. It was so cute.
Aw. Yes. Make kids again, okay?
Okay.
Because I don't want to see them dressed up as little Kim or any of these. Okay. I'm sorry. I don't want to see it. I want to see you dress up in Winnie the Pooh. Whoever is the doctor cartoons that y'all watching nowadays. I want to see some black characters. You know what I'm saying? I may bring back the Cabbage Patch. I don't know.
Well,
I may bring it.
shout out to black characters. I'm glad you mentioned that because one of our fellow Reasonable Dialogue alum, shout out to Michelle, her and her daughter were Princess and the Frog, and I
Oh,
thought
I
that
saw
was
that.
so
Yeah.
cute. Yeah, that
I
was
love that.
yeah, that was cute. That was cute.
Yes, family costumes too would be my jam. I love when the family gets
I'm so
together.
glad you said that. Alicia Keys and her family.
Oh, did they dress up?
Bruh, they ate. So, okay, it's funny because ironically, one of the costumes I'm tired of seeing this year is fucking Wednesday. But
That's the
Alicia
easiest
Keys,
one.
it is. But they did the Addams family, but they did it so good.
Okay, I'm looking at it. Yes. Okay.
Yeah. Even the video,
Oh,
I was like, oh, they ate dog. Okay.
yes. Alicia looked like Morticia. Okay. Okay. She's giving real femme queen because you know she's a stud. Okay. Yes.
Why
Alicia.
are you like this?
Come on, y'all. Let's be serious. Let's be for real for once in our lives. Okay. Anyways,
Damn, she
Alicia.
look good.
I told y'all to tell you. I was like, damn, who the fuck? Okay, bitch.
She know how to put that shit on. Okay, no, they look good. They look good. This is a really cute, beautiful family. Shout out to the Keys.
Not the beats.
Oh, the Keys and the Beats. Anyways, y'all, how has my girls' weekend been, y'all?
Ooh. I'm be transparent. I'm happy to finally lay down in the condo because I haven't been getting sleep. My good sisters, with the hurricane and my dad and my brother and my family, being in the heart of Jamaica.
Sorry to
No,
even
no.
you having to deal with that.
It's okay. And I wanna shout out everybody that reached out to me if I didn't reach out back or if it was a delayed response. I get overstimulated and on and off for the past 8 years. I found various different ways to cope with counselors have told me is actually like survival's guilt. Um, Survival's guilt can show up in different ways. As a first generation like college student, it showed up in ways where counselors or therapists were referring to it as like kind of like breakaway guilt, where you feel kind of guilty for not being able to like help or
Being the only one that made it type of thing, or I
Mm.
know what you mean.
Yeah, so that is something I have worked through for about like 8 years. I feel like at every stage of my life I've experienced something that has like triggered it. My first year of grad school, it was kind of triggered because I lost a childhood friend. And it was kind of strange because I was like, wait, here I am going after my dreams at NYU, but here it is. I'm still reminded that I'm that first generation college student from Cleveland, Ohio, and people are being murdered back home. Like, how do I deal with that?
Mm.
And I didn't know
Mhm.
how to deal with it at the time, but I had counselors and grief counselors and, people at NYU that gave me the language to help me articulate what I was struggling with. And my apologies if my voice is just a little.
No,
I
never
think this is my first
apologize.
time ever talking about my survival guilt and how I've overcame it because I thought I had like really, dismantled it until Hurricane Melissa in the news.
Mhm.
Um, I think sometimes the American news can just be very, very like fear tactics, like the whole like, oh, it's it's like Hurricane Katrina. It's gonna be one of the most devastating hurricanes ever. Like literally had me on pins and needles for
Yeah.
2 days.
Mhm.
I'm talking like waking up every hour, like, like, okay, what happened? Like I've never experienced anything like that. Like I had like, called my therapist like twice this week because I was just like, what is this? Like, is it a panic attack? Like, what is it? Um, luckily my family is alive. People are okay, but
I
if
love
I
that.
can be
That's
transparent,
community. Yeah.
this Saturday there's an event. More Vibes Please is going to be taking donations for people. I'm open to receiving things. My brother's school has been affected. My dad's house has been affected. Like,
Mm.
and my family is still recovering from last season's hurricane when I had to get out of there a day before and we had to fix the roof. We had things we had to get fixed. So it's like a hurricane on top of a hurricane. And
What more
then,
can I do? How can I?
I'm here
I
doing the
feel you,
best I
sis.
can, but there's still this feeling of guilt of just being like, yeah, thank you for, adding the language there, because that's really what it is.
Mm-hmm.
It's, and I took a leap of faith on myself last year and this year. So, I am in a still rebuilding transitional phase. So a lot of things I was able to do last year, I have to show up and try to do it in a different way and be able to receive, let my guard down. So I want to shout out to my friends, my community, and just all my loved ones that reached out to me this week and have been helping me redefine or retransform my mind around guilt, around community, around
Mm-hmm.
receiving. Because I am completely open. Me and Jan was talking about it earlier. Like, how do you feel about starting to GoFundMe and stuff like that? Like, I
Mhm.
I'm open to doing things like that, but for right now, if people want to pour into the event on Saturday, and donate like what they can, it'll be really appreciated, not only for my family, but for the many families and friends that are in Jamaica and Cuba, and Haiti as well. So I love the
Mm-hmm.
condo. Thank you guys. I feel lighter already, but yeah, this week was a lot. I had some insomnia. I think that's what they say. Because I couldn't sleep. I was on the phone with my dad, and he's
Yeah.
like, they're saying it's coming at 12. So I'm like up at 12, like, calling the WhatsApp. And then, some of us didn't hear from our families for hours. Like, yeah, I've never experienced any type of anxiety like that ever.
Mhm.
So I'm grateful to be here, and I'm grateful to roll
Mm-hmm.
up and just say fuck Hurricane Melissa, um, and just f the media that just creates some of this like fear mongering. I don't know if that's what's it called, but like the way they were like kind of portraying this hurricane and its devastation and how they were literally making it seem like Jamaica was about to be wiped off like the freaking globe. So the amount of, pressure to just check
Mm-hmm.
in every
As you
couple of
should.
minutes,
And
hours
I
is just real heavy. So
understand,
I'm starting to
your
feel lighter. I
position
feel
of
lighter, and I'm gonna
anxiety
go
and
out this week
unknown
too
is
to,
always fearful
have
for
some fun.
anyone dealing with that, especially, our immigrant parents and friends and families that do have people over there in Jamaica and Haiti and Cuba. These things happen in a way that it makes you. That's why I love the fact that you even mentioned, shout out to, the good brother, more soup, for always doing something very ethical, I would say, and intentional as far as doing an event for the community. Because, I was thinking the other day, not to sidetrack it, but it kind of ties into it. I was thinking of the situation, which honestly would probably just make sense to just touch on it briefly since we are here. But the whole situation with the SNAP benefits being cut. And I said that community is going to be our biggest um our biggest win amongst each other. the government has already shown us and proven to us that they do not care about the majority of the people. So the people are going to have to do what the people are meant to do, which is be in community again. So when things like this arise, like, acts of God and like, the government just shitting on its people, it's going to take us coming together to help rebuild things that are broken down. And I love the fact that, he's having an event to pull together money. I mean, I remember people having I remember hearing about people having like, rent parties and things like that to help out when you had to make money for your rent and things. So for me, I think we are really getting, I don't want to say getting back because community has always been there, but I think it's going to be more present. It's going to be more,
Yes.
a lot more valuable. And I hope it's going to be more valuable in the sense of not just taking, but also, reciprocation and putting back, et cetera, et cetera. One hand washes the other type of thing. So just that alone. And I'm praying for everyone over in Jamaica that is affected. I did see some videos myself of people who were stuck on a resort. Who were actually helping, you know what I'm saying? They were cleaning up, they were helping, they were doing their part. And, like I said, community is going to be something that's going to truly and honestly be our biggest anchors during these trying times, which are going to come even more. Like the hurricane happening, I'm not of course, this is something that naturally happens, but of course, with everything being cut with the government and all these things are affecting everything around us. We can't act like what's happening in America doesn't have an effect on other countries around us. So for me personally, it's just a thing of like praying for everybody to the peace and the wholeness that we so desperately need. But for sure, praying for the families in Jamaica and praying for you specifically, Jazz, since you are very directly affected by it. We pray for all of your family and friends back home and that, we're going to do all that we can to pull together to make sure everyone gets what they need during these times.
Thank you, sis. I really appreciate it. And I appreciate, again, I keep saying I appreciate everyone that has reached out. I just get overstimulated, y'all. So sometimes I just need to smoke and put on some Babyface Ray or something. So or some Bob Marley. So y'all, thank sometimes I just need to put on he got a banger right now that's really been like, yo, that is hard. But um no, for real, shout out to community and literally, sis, what you're saying is kind of reminding me of why community is really like the GOAT. Because even when you think about the beginning of the year, we had the LA fires, and who was the first people to jump up? It was us. You know what I'm saying? And I think these situations has really been reminding us, like, and it makes me think about that Michael Jackson song. Not to sound cliche, like all I'm gonna say is that they don't really care about, you know, like, and we just gotta do our big one, y'all. Like I could sit on here and cry, talk about my survivor's guilt all day, and talk about how it just didn't make me feel like to celebrate Halloween this year. I kind of stayed in and watched movies, but at the end of the day, though, like once somebody reminded me this week, you cannot be in community by yourself. You can't be in a relationship by yourself. You can't be in a friendship by yourself. So it's really encouraging and really motivating to know that yes, this is going on. This shit is not normal because I don't think any of this is normal. Fucking delay and snap, hurricanes happening in November, like it's not normal. But I think knowing that community and friendship and sisterhood is still there and something that is holding us together and not separating us apart was the driving motivating for this week. So I will be shaking ass this weekend.
I love that. I love that. What about you, Yon? How's your weekend been?
My week's been pretty good. Well, not my week, but the weekend. I feel like I finally got to a place where I don't. So I've been feeling small, like moments of guilt because I feel like I thought that when my dad passed, I would be more shattered by it, like on a consistent basis where it's like I just always feel sad. And I don't always feel sad, and I'm realizing like through a lot of conversations with friends about it and their perspectives on grief, but what I'm realizing is grief is not necessarily a feeling, which is why it's not something that I would be feeling all the time. Because like with feelings, if you're sad, you have to feel the full sadness, and then you overcome the sadness. If you're happy, like you may be happy for X amount of time and then you move on to a different emotion. So it's not necessarily like an emotion, it's more of like a process, I'm realizing, where, like one day you might be great, the next day you might be sad, the next day grief might look like pride and everything my dad did. Like, I don't think grief is like a straight line. So I'm feeling less guilty about it, as far as just like not being constantly sad. Um, and I will say though, like I have been a little overwhelmed with just like work. I do think that I may have come back a little too early, if I had to be honest. But then even that is like part of my process of grieving because like I don't know how to just not like I can't just sit still. Like I don't know how people and this is not even like a shot. Like I just don't know how people do it. Like I don't know how people, regardless of what they're going through, just like stop working for 2, 3, 4 weeks at a time. Like I be feeling so out the
Mm.
fucking loop. Like I can't do that. But then what I'm realizing is like I probably need to because when I'm trying to work, like if the workload isn't light, it's like so overwhelming because even though I don't feel like I'm sad all the time or shattered all the time, it still very much is there. So it's like it's dealing with the grieving process while also trying to show up for every fucking body at work. It's just like there be some moments at work where I be like, oh my God, what do you fucking want? um
I feel that. What more do you want from me?
Yeah, no, literally. Okay, I know that reference. But yeah, that's literally like I had a moment last week where I literally like broke down and started crying because people was hitting me left and right with shit like past deadline. So it was just like, all right, I'm already here earlier than I probably should have been, but y'all hit me past deadline for shit. Like, come on, man. Like I
But
don't
then
even
it's
deal with
like a
all
thing of
this.
like, I feel like, and sorry not to cut you off, but you saying that really just made me think of how I don't know if I want to put the term insensitive on it, but it feels like people have lost some form of like lingering empathetic feeling for things because it's like, bro, like no offense, but you lost your father. You know what I'm saying? And yes, you may have come back to work a little earlier than normal, and I guess business still has to be done. But at the same time, my God, do people not have any grace a little bit? Like just a un poquito, you know what I'm saying? Like just
Mm.
a little bit of grace to be like, okay, you know what? She is back, but she is still going through this very traumatic situation. Let's not make the workload. And it's not to sit there and say like we have to make you special or put you, in a different category out of the rest of everyone working, but it is to say like humanity to me feels somewhat of a lost thing because it's like regardless of if you're back early or not, there should be a sense of everyone having an idea that this is something that's happening and that we should just be a little bit more tender or a little bit more, be a little bit more careful with you. That's just my opinion on it. Like, I don't know.
Yeah.
I agree. And what I will say is where I was gonna close with that anyway, so I'm glad you said that. Um, what I've been kind of like, it's really been settling in for me. Like, this is not something I didn't know already, but it's really like clicking is you really gotta have work-life boundaries for real, like hard
Hmm.
boundaries. Because these people really don't give a fuck. Like they can offer their condolences
Girl.
and say all the nice things. That's not to even mean that they don't mean it. But at the end of the day, like they worried about how are you showing up for me? Like what can you do for me in this work
Yes.
sense?
Ugh.
And like that's it at the end of the day. So it's like you have to be able to say no to some shit. Like, nope, it's past that line. Talk to you tomorrow. Nope, don't call me after XYZ time. We done at 5 o'clock. Like you really gotta stand on that because when life's they do not give a fuck about you.
Mm-mm, mm-mm. And it's something too to remind people. I feel like here, while we have this space, it is nothing wrong with being grounded in humility, and I think that is what's missing from a lot of our spaces right now. And I don't know if it's because of the constant like social media consumption the current administration, yeah, that's it too. That let me not go there. Control it. But it's unfortunate, but I do feel like because everything is so fast paced in the midst of, like you said, sis, a recession indicator. It's like people are just like, and it's basically because we talked about survival's guilt, but I do feel like some people are in survival mode right now, which takes away from that empathetic lens. But
And high key, that's also like there's a small part of me is my tendency is I might over give grace sometimes, but I try to give grace also in recognizing like people just trying to get their job done, because companies doing layoffs and all types of shit. So it's like I get it, but also
no, have some grace.
that was died. So like fuck that. You are past deadline. I'm gonna talk to you niggas tomorrow.
Literally, that was the theme at church yesterday. Like grace. That's why it's so funny you mentioned that. Like, no,
Like, for real. Like, your little deadline, you already late, nigga. The fuck ain't gonna make it no different. I'm sorry. I could never work at corporate, y'all, because my mouth would get me fired for real. What the fuck you pushing pressure? Nigga, you late already. The deadline been dead. The fuck?
So to that point, another lesson that I've learned, and I've seen this quoted, so this is not like a Tatiana quote, but
come on, Tatiana quotes, because you got them. Hello.
what the past 2 weeks have taught me is like your emergency and like the shit that you do late or beyond deadline does not make it my emergency. Like just because you late on shit and it's some shit that you gotta like, oh now I need urgency around it because I'm late or I did this wrong or that's not my emergency.
The fake lack of urgency in corporate America really pisses me off.
Yeah.
They can't stand me because I will remind you this ain't urgent. It's not. We're not doing brain surgery. We're not. Like, don't do that. Like,
and like we all work in music, so like I think that's another thing I had to constantly remind myself. And this is even before my dad passed, like that I kept having to like remind myself with corporate. It's like, and it's not to say our jobs aren't important, right? Like music is a lifeline for a lot of people, but like we're not saving lives. So if I don't get back to your email today, you will be okay. Like I hate that people in this industry act like everything is so pressing. Like it's music, y'all. We're not doctors
at all.
We are heart surgeons because music does pull. I know that's a corny thing I always say. I'm like, no, but we are heart surgeons because music does move us through our heart posture. But no.
So cute.
On some real shit though, boundaries in the workplace, and I'm glad that we had that conversation for those of you that are just joining and just finally listening to this amazing award-winning podcast. You can definitely go look back at previous episodes that we've had where we talked about having boundaries, not only in your personal life, but in your workspace. That's a little plug. But outside of that, boundaries are needed in everything, in all areas of life. And I think when you become less of a people pleaser,
yes,
boundaries become more stronger. Because for me, come on, because as I've been getting more in tune with who I am and what I do want versus what I don't want, it's more clear on what I do want, even in the work life. And it's like, I don't want strife. I don't want struggle. We can have disagreements. We can have, objections, all of those things that come with the workplace, but respect and respecting boundaries are non-negotiables. And once that happens, I have to be okay with walking away from a situation that no longer serves or protects or causes me to protect my own boundaries, because boundaries are for you, not for other people.
yeah.
If you cause me to have to even break my own boundaries to serve what you got going on, that's not the place for me at all. And I have to be strong in that. And I've had situations, that reflected me having to be strong in my boundaries and the pushback not so negative, I would say. Initially, it's always especially as Black women, you do get a little bit of pushback.
Yeah.
But when you set that line in the sand, niggas know, don't cross this motherfucker. Okay. So I appreciate y'all, and especially you, Yon, in this space that you're in now, to have those boundaries and not be afraid to say, listen, this little meeting y'all got ain't as important as what's going on in my mind right now. And being okay with that, because let's be honest, it's really probably not. You know what I'm saying? So shout out to the corporate girlies that get it done but don't play no motherfucking games. Okay.
Okay, clock
I
it. So put the
appreciate
two
that.
fingers together for real, because they will try it. They will try. They will. If you give them an inch, they will see how many miles they can run with.
And that's what I'm learning is to stop giving inches because once you give an inch, you set like a precedence that you'll always give an inch. And then when you try to set a boundary later, they're like, okay, but you let us get an inch last time. Like, no.
Yeah, and not letting anybody. I think something I've navigated through like corporate and like freelance projects is not letting anybody weaponize my kindness.
Yeah.
If I do say no or this is a boundary, now it's, oh, you're this, you're that. No, no, no. I'm still kind. I'm just not nice or a pushover. I'm not a people
Yes.
pleaser. Just
Yes.
because, you know what I'm saying, sis? Just because I said no in this instance right here, or I couldn't take your call because I'm recording with my girls right now, you're gonna have to wait, sir.
Hello.
You know what I'm saying? We gonna call you back. But I'm not, the show has to go on. I'm not stopping no boat. Like, um, so yeah, I love that we are on the same page here, because I feel like as Black women, people will do that. They will try to weaponize and turn us into the angry Black girls if we have an objective or a different point of view. And it's like, no, I'm still kind today. I'm just not on that.
Right.
Yeah. But then I guess like on a super lighter note to close that out, I went to so I got invited by one of my really close friends to the Larizi and Little Sim show in Philly.
Oh.
Shout out to Philly, yes.
Yeah, it was a really great show. It was my first time at the film where I never been there before, so I thought the venue was really dope. It's I didn't realize how big the filmer was either. It was really fire. But the show is phenomenal. That's Larizi's first tour, so shout out to him. I would have thought it was his second or third. He was like really, really great on stage, super charismatic. His breath control is insane. He's only 21. I think he just turned 21, so
Oh, it's a baby.
he's a baby, but like he performing like a big dog. Like shout out to him. And in Little Sims too, like so I went for Larizi. I hadn't really been familiar with Little Sims. Like I've heard of her, but I haven't really gotten into her music. But like I'm a fan now. She's really good. And it's funny because like for the most part, I don't really be into that in it rap. 'Cause their
Wait, what?
accents.
Wait, what?
I'm talking about
Uh,
in it, not that in
yeah, I
it.
can't. No, 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 that ain't
Wait.
it. The UK, London, I can't. Yeah, because the accents, like, it'd be hard for me to get past the accents. Like in R&B, you can't really hear the accents. Like you might hear it in within like the skits or the little talking points of the song, but like for the most part, when you are UK R&B, you can't hear it. But the rap, I can't get over the rap accent sometimes. But like she's really good. And like the stuff, like her subject matter is like so heavy, but like
Yeah.
light at the same time to where it's like, all right, this isn't boring. And I don't even not to say that heavy music is boring, but like it's just really good and well put together. And it felt like a rock show too. Like her band was fucking
Mm.
fire. Like it was very posh. It was cute.
I love that. I've never seen her live, but I
I
got,
post all the videos because that shit, I was like, wow, I'm
yeah.
gagged.
It's like two
Gagged.
records from her that I play in the gym that she got, but I'm screaming at in it rap. I am like
So
that
I'm talking
anyway.
about in it. I'm talking about in it.
that is funny because it just makes
Oh,
me think like y'all be listening to Central C, like y'all like it.
I only like
no.
a few bops.
Nope,
A few
actually.
bops from that little white man. Only a few. Not a
But
lot,
yeah,
but
I can't get into that. I just really can't.
some of them are cool. Like there was this one artist, I forgot his name, but he had a song with Lotto called Art. I did
Yeah,
like that
I love
song.
that. That song is hard. That song is
Yes.
hard. Yeah,
That one
yeah,
was hard. Lotto, she really did her thing on that one as a verse, as a feature. But outside of that, I would say more so the women. I like listening to the women more than I do like listening to some of the men. Like You have Little Sims. And then there was this other girl. She was so pretty. She used to dress up all the time. Damn, her name was right at the tip of my tongue. I literally forgot it. Sugar Honey Icy. I'm gonna get it for y'all. But some of the UK girls are definitely way better than the men,
It's
unfortunately.
this
So
one dude. What's his name, y'all? I think it's Dave.
Oh,
Dave.
he's
Dave,
good. I
yes.
didn't realize
Yeah,
he
Dave
was
is
I think
good.
dope.
he got a
Yes.
couple. Yeah, like he got a.
Yeah.
What was that song, Sprinter, that he had? That was.
Yes, that was a bop too.
I think he just dropped the album, if I'm not mistaken. If not an album, definitely a single.
I think her name was Ivorine Doll. Ivorine Doll. She's one of the UK Miss Banks. She's definitely been one of Lady LaSure. She's been one of like the I guess, old school Stefflon Don. Everyone knows her, of course. But
Oh yeah, Stefan.
I gotta tap into the new UK girlies, see who's out there making some waves in the British rock. Yeah, go. Anyways,
But yeah, that
but
was that was my weekend. Shout out to Eric and the Reezian team. It was really dope.
ew.
That's dope, sis.
How was your weekend, girl?
Girl, I don't even know what weekend I'm in. Okay. Sunday, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday. That's how my days is going, y'all. I'm not gonna lie. But we are definitely approaching. I'm so sorry, y'all. People are literally calling me left to right today. So I apologize if Apple Sounds is in this podcast, but hopefully they sponsor us. Anyways, um, my weekend has been crazy, y'all. I'm not gonna lie. I've been traveling. We are wrapping up the Live from the Swamp tour. We have 3 more dates. So at the recording of this here podcast, I am currently in Phoenix, Arizona on show day. So we have a show out here today. And then we have like 2 more shows, I think. Yeah. So it's been going by really, really fast. Like we went from rehearsals to shows and now it's like, boom, we're almost done. But I've been really, really, really filled with so much gratitude. I think every day it's a new journey, a new life that I'm living, considering that I'm in different states and cities. So I'm taking my imagination and utilizing it the way that it should be utilized, that childlike imagination. When you believe that you can fly, you know what I'm saying, before that nigga, but you believe you can fly. You know what I'm saying? You thought you could be an astronaut. You thought you can do many things in this world, but when you got older, life kind of became real, or at least we thought it was real. Life tried to tell us that, the things that we desire, we can't achieve, or whatever the case may be. And a lot of us tend to lose sight of those passions and that imaginations we once had. So for me, I've just been really nurturing my inner child, leaning into my imagination, pretending, being, and doing all these great grand, things that seem quote unquote crazy, but it's crazy until it really works, So for me, I feel like my life has been a form of my imagination from a young child to be doing the things that I wanted to do since then, and doing it now, is a blessing, and I don't take that for granted at all. So I'm just really just doing my best, trying to stay hydrated, stay on top of my personal health and other activities that I have outside of, my tour. But outside of that, I'm really just forming great friendships with the team out here. And I'm just loving the fans every night performing. The show gets better and better. I mean, I feel like I don't give myself enough flowers because I don't want to say I play the modest role because it's never a play thing. It's always a real bitch thing. You know what I'm saying? But I do feel like it's okay for me to pop my shit every now and then, or if not every then and now. But I do feel like I'm proud of myself. I'm happy. I'm grateful. I feel purpose filled. And when people see me, they are seeing a reflection or a form of themselves that they can also achieve their wildest dreams as well too. So I think, well, I know more so that my purpose in this world is really just being a light and just showcasing, it through the gifts and the talents that I have. And I'm fortunate enough to be here doing it, So I've been really taking time to journal. I'm getting back into my artist way. It's a book that I find it to be a little challenging just because I'm not mentally there to read it. But I know when I lock in, I'm going to unlock some real crazy shit because that's what happens every time in my life. Like when I really put myself in a mind frequency to like, okay, you want to reach this level, let's lock in, let's do the things that it takes to get there. You know what I'm saying? And I'm feeling that point in my life to like, okay, let's explore new avenues of the creative being that you are. So long story short, I'm just really happy. I'm grateful. I'm healthy. I'm just in my frequency of purpose and I feel really good. And I'm just happy to always be here recording this podcast with y'all because this is also, considered a safe space and an outlet for me just to talk my shit sometimes and just to let loose and, have people who actually like listening to us, listen to the pod as well. But I really enjoy this space with y'all, not on some super lover girl shit, but you guys know I'm a lover girl. And love for me, romance for me is even my friends. Like, being romantic towards my friends, being romantic towards myself, and not always in like a sexual way. I think we always think it's romance has to be sexual. It's like, no, I fucking love you heifers. Like,
Oh,
like I'm gonna wine and dine you bitches when I come to New York. I'm tricking on my girls. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, and I feel like in that way too, you just really put yourself in a space of just manifesting everything that you want and you desire. When you do it to yourself and you also put it out and treat others that way, it comes back to you all the time. So that's just where I'm at.
You said something so beautiful. Was it frequency of faith? Did you say that? I was trying.
Ooh, that's a bar though. I like that though. That though.
So beautiful, sis. I'm so happy for you. And again, if y'all have not seen my good sis on the tour or live perform yet, please go check it out. It is one of the best shows. And not only just shows, but just a source of inspiration. Like I still feel inspired. Shout out to Missy Elliott too. I saw a clip of Missy.
oh, I saw it on the timeline.
Yeah.
When I say tears flowed from my eyes, I was like, first and foremost, Missy Misdemeanor Elliott is in the building. We study. We know. We get creativity. Your favorite rapper, is his favorite rapper. You get what I'm saying? Like, the creativity, the dances, the music, everything that Missy embodies, I don't think people give Missy enough flowers, honestly speaking, for her contributions and the trend setting and the actual pioneer that she is within the music industry. And the fact that we had someone of her caliber watching us was just something that, like I said, the younger child in me is jumping up for joy because I remember watching the Missy videos growing up. You know what I'm saying? I remember, get your freak on and, the dancing with the garbage bags and all this great shit that she's done to where she is now and still touring, still dancing, still doing the thing, So for her to be in that crowd, y'all, and be watching Doechii and myself perform. And I just want to put a pin real quick because, sometimes I got to address, the haters just real quick. Sometimes people be trying to say, oh, why you always include yourself in it?
Really?
Yes.
And why?
Oh my God.
Because I've seen people say like, oh, you always talk about us, like it's her, like basically trying to demean or minimize my point.
Yeah.
Downplay.
Wow.
There we go. Try to downplay my part. And I just want to tell you picklehead ass bitches out there who sit on your stink ass couches. At the end of the day, I'm very much so, and I say this with all due respect, I'm very much so a part of this show because I am hip hop. It is in, okay, my part of what I do, it is hip hop. The DJ, despite what the 2025s have, thought about DJ culture was the foundation of hip hop. It's the reason why we even have rap today. So let's never disrespect the DJ, and especially considering that her and I never, we people always call us a duo, right? Mm-hmm. Because of what they see. And I'll say for myself that she herself, have said that she wants people to see, us as hip hop. And hip hop is DJ MC. So never minimize the DJ's part because I'm up there shaking my ass, hitting a two-step like Ciara. I am doing the things too, okay? I know that I really set in stone my part of hip hop history with what it is that I'm doing.
Oh, absolutely. And not to cut you off, but like it's ironic that you're saying this because what I was gonna say before you even got into this was like in the spirit of Missy, I think you are redefining what a DJ should be right
Yes,
now.
I agree.
Because to your point, the 2025 DJ is very much like vibes, and that's about it.
on, like let's talk about it.
So
Like,
it's
no, for
like
real. Like, what
for
are they
you
talking about?
to be like the fact that even though it was like a jokey joke to us because it's very unserious, but like the fact that they're calling you a backup rapper is like
Hilarious.
And I'm trying not
it's
to be a bit.
actually speaks to how great you are though, because it's like I'm so good at what the fuck I'm doing that you think I'm a backup rapper. I am the
Right.
DJ. Like I think that's such a big compliment, even though it was meant as shade. I'm assuming, like I think that's such a big compliment because
No,
it's
they know
like
who Spinderella is. Like,
right, like
to
that's
be,
so fire.
and I'm trying not to be that like raging baby sister that's like popping her neck behind everybody because you know that meme with the dude in the background when somebody's spitting and like he in the background like yep like that was me the whole time I was talking because first of all let's get something straight. If you have not seen the show and even if you didn't see the show, like you said, there's five
There's a
pillars
billion
of
fucking clips
hip-hop.
online. Like,
Yeah, but if we think about like what makes hip hop, the DJ, the graffiti, the dancing, like everything, you niggas are showing every day that you're not of the culture and that have not been there from the beginning. Like you do not. There's literally a whole section dedicated to the art of the DJ and scratching during the show. Like, are you
yeah.
fucking kidding me? Like, let's not go there. And also too, let's not when people say stuff like that, I'm gonna be honest, it pisses me off because you're also discrediting the line of like people who have stood beside MCs and have added to shows. Again, I think of Spinderella. I think of Jazzy Jeff. I think of fucking what was the guy's name that's with Busta Rhymes all the times?
Mm-hmm.
Star. Like, you know what I'm saying? It's just like you're discrediting a legacy. You know what I'm saying? When you say dumb shit like that. But let me
It is
stop.
what it is. But you know, you got sometimes
Because
the
then if I keep
queen.
going, why you up her ass? And it's like, no, bitch, I am a fan and a child of hip hop. Like,
No, and this is what I realized too. A lot of people are not educated in the lane of hip hop. They're not because and I'm sure Shorty when she said the back rapper comment, I'm sure it was out of pure like I'm gonna have to assume it was out of pure not knowing. Like I'm not gonna ever think everyone knows everything, but I'm gonna assume it was out of pure not knowing. But it just showed you how much people really don't. I don't want to say no, let's call it a thing. People don't respect the art of hip hop
they
and they
don't.
don't understand the elements and the layers of hip hop that it is that it's been so diluted, which honestly, like, you know, we can just get into it because we already know segueing into the whole debacle that's been going on Twitter lately in these streets about hip
Ooh,
hop
great segue.
not being on the Billboard charts. No rap songs in Billboard Hot's 100 top 40 in the first time since 1990. Okay, is rap back underground? So I think this is a perfect segue just to get into the whole rap conversation because the lack of knowledge, the lack of not knowing certain things, and still very much so everyone has platforms but speaks on things. I think that is the disconnect that we're
Yeah.
having with
No.
what's happening with education first and foremost, but also really we should talk about this whole rap not being on the charts and what does this actually mean for the space of hip hop and rap music, because we have been seeing in the streets for quite some time, and I don't mean the literal streets, I mean in the internet streets, you know, people having conversations. We've seen labels dropping, you know, their whole departments, you know, laying off their whole departments. We've been seeing people speak on the music industry not being as lucrative, and there's no money in the music industry. So if there's no money in the music industry, when we start breaking down the sections of music and those specific sections, is hip hop, country, you know, Latin, like these specific sections of music, are they also affected? What's happening? And a lot of noise have been making that hip hop is not making the money that it used to make. So I don't know, ladies. What do you guys think?
So I'll go as, as a self-proclaimed child of hip hop and somebody that loves this genre to the core. First, to the young lady or the whatever that said the comment, and to anybody else that's listening, I just want to remind everybody what the five pillars of hip hop are. First, it is emceeing. That is using your mouth, okay? That is rapping, all of that. Second, it is DJing, okay? Literally, right there, DJing, okay? Being able to scratch, being able to provide a sound. The third, break dancing, being physical. Four, graffiti, visual. And five, the most important of it all that seems to be lacking is knowledge and mental. Like, knowledge is actually a part of hip hop and rap culture. And when I think about where we are today, I think one of the issues is we have so many people speaking on the culture who have no idea what these pillars are and don't live and breathe these pillars at all. That's the first thing. I'll be honest, I am still grappling with how I feel about rap and hip hop not charting this year, because on one side, there is a part of me that feels like we have to protect this Black art form. There is one side that feels that way. However, as someone that has experienced rap from a corporate space, from an educational space, and just from living and breathing it and being a Black child born in Cleveland, Ohio, like, I have to say that I do get some sense of like happiness or fulfillment when we do have these, huge hip hop charting moments. I go back to thinking about um crazy moments in hip hop where you have people like 50 and Ye going up against each other, just out of the love of the sport. But at the time we were deciding like, yo, is hip hop going more towards a collegiate route, or is it staying to this gangster bling bling era? That was the whole conversation
Bling
then.
bling.
You know what I'm saying? Like, that was the conversation then. And we've seen rap transform and grow through so many different stages. And I think the downside of what's happening is, to your point, is there are a lot of Black people, and not only just Black people, people that actually give a fuck about the art form, that have lost their jobs and are losing certain positions because the higher ups, or who may have be it, don't see, what we're doing as lucrative, but at the same time, they know we're the most influential. Let's be
Right.
honest.
Right.
So I
Most
want to
influential. So how does the most influential not become the most lucrative? I'm confused on that. And I'm being serious. I'm not even trying to be facetious when I say that.
I want to read something. I want to shout out Baby Shy. I want to shout out and he supports our podcast. He loves us. I want to shout out the good brother Rashad Johnson, because he went on a dope rant about this morning. And one of the things he said is, my main point is everybody needs to be held accountable. No one is exempt from the tap on the shoulder to let them know what is wrong. I know amazing managers who've gone above and beyond for creatives. I've seen A&Rs who've gone above and beyond for creatives. But this whole signing and or singing somewhere, coasting and expecting a great album and hit records to fall out the sky has to stop. Not everyone is the same. Everyone doesn't need the same amount of help, but the lack of creative effort being put into art these days is terrible. The lack of effort that is not being put into the business is terrible, and almost everyone is to blame. Um, and stop saying hip hop not being in the top 40 doesn't matter. This is not a fucking video game. It's people in these buildings who may lose their jobs behind this, specifically Black executives. They are already pushing a lot of us out of these buildings. That is true. And just because your favorite artist put out work this year that you really like doesn't mean it's a good year for hip hop. Some of y'all are delusional. The same people who say this doesn't matter are the same ones that will be screaming that they aren't enough people of the culture and buildings pushing quality Black art. Miss me with the bullshit. Um, I find his take very interesting because, again, we have been talking about this duality and this juxtaposition of just like, do we want to protect this Black art form? And or I think the question is, and what he's proposing is just like, if we have this creative art form, what are we doing to not only protect it, but amplify it?
How do we preserve it?
And how do we preserve it? How do we archive it without it becoming what we're seeing?
Diluted.
Diluted, or what I'm seeing today is now you got AI artists that are charting. What are we gonna do if when the AI rapper pop up and it's nominated for a Grammy? This shit is going to hit the fan. Like,
But see, I think to his point, that's kind of why he makes a great point as far as saying everybody is to blame, right? Because
Yeah.
I think on one end, it's the fans' fault because the fans move everything. It's like, what are we giving our support to? Because even like on the curation side, right? Like there's an element, and I had a conversation about this the other day because somebody was placing all of this blame on gatekeepers and curators and what
I
they're
think I've
not.
seen
And
that.
yeah, and
Yeah.
it's
I
just
did,
like
yeah.
you're giving the curators too much power because yes, we do have
Mm.
like we
Woo.
can decide what it is that we're playlisting and programming or we're putting marketing dollars behind, but then there's also this element of we still got to meet whatever the company's bottom line is, and that's determined by the customer base, right? So if the customer is saying we like this music, we have to program it because if we're not programming it, it's like, well, why is this song not on this playlist or why is this not in this rotation? If it's getting all of these streams that are organic from the fans, there's a demand for it. So it goes back to the fans where it's like, what are y'all like? Y'all have to support better shit too. Like it's like this collective effort
Yes.
that needs to be made. It can't just be the execs got to do better, the artists got to do better, the fans got to do better too. Like everybody has to do better. And I
Everybody.
think also to Rashad's point, like I feel like the blame game is stupid because in the same way you could say there's a lot of lazy artists that just aren't putting their heart into the music, there's a lot of it lazy execs who aren't putting their
Hello.
efforts to
Hello.
developing the acts. Like we have had countless conversations about artist development not necessarily being prevalent right now because we're kind of shifting away from that, and there's this expectation where you have to be fully developed before you get to the label because all they're gonna do is really pour gasoline on what you already got going. So like knowing this, I feel like that has made the industry very fucking lazy. So like we could blame the industry in that sense. And to his point again, you could blame the artist too because you got a lot of artists where you put all this money into making sure everything is tight around them and they fucking lazy. So it's just like you really can't point the finger at nobody. Everybody just has to do better and that's how you preserve the culture. It's like we the music has to be better,
Mm-hmm.
the all of the arm and the strength behind what's happening, like the execs, the managers, the A&Rs, we got to do better at developing the acts that we're working with, making sure they're doing opportunities and brand partnerships or whatever that makes sense for the world they're trying to build, and not just throwing them in front of any fucking thing just to make a dollar. And
Hello.
then the fans got to do better. Like, what are y'all got to support better music? Y'all complain about the mainstream being dead, and it's like, well, the mainstream is the mainstream because that's the shit y'all like. So, what are we talking about?
Exactly. And I would to that point, sis, I want to shout out Ninth Wonder and Ruben Vincent again because I think Ninth Wonder
Yes.
is a great example of what mentorship looks like in this game. And that's what's lacking too. It's one thing to have executives, but
Thank
we're
you.
missing the art of mentorship and having actual OGs that are
Thank
supporting and
you.
amplifying you and ain't trying to shit on you. Because let's be
Thank
honest, it's a lot of
you.
OGs that's running around like young G's out here. And it's just like, hold up. See, I was flowing, y'all. I was flowing. But let's be honest, like it's
Oh
a thin
shit.
line between like who are the OGs and the mentors. Like back in the day, I knew, you know what I'm saying, that the Hoves and the Emerys and the Tatas or the Angie Martinez is of the Shaka Pilgrims. Come on now, of the world were people that were, people we could look up to. I don't know if we necessarily have that, or if even if we do have it, the respect for these people are is just not there. Like it's what we were saying earlier, trying to slight Milan as a backup rapper. And it's like, bitch, at the end of the day, 10 years later, there's going to be courses on what Milan is doing right now while
Yeah.
you talking, you know what I'm saying? So it's like,
And I'm gonna be teaching them hoes.
No, but I feel you. I really
I
feel
feel
you.
you
And
though on
I
that.
think it's a two-way thing though, to your point. I think we can ask where the mentors are, but then we also got to have a conversation again. Like I think everything is just holistic. You got to look at everything holistically because it's like, yeah, where's the mentors? But then also to your point, where's the respect for the mentors? Because the
Mm,
people that want to be mentors, they get met with, ain't nobody trying to hear that shit. You old, you wash, like you don't know what you're talking
yeah.
about. And it's like, so there's this. I feel like on all ends, everybody just has to do better.
And I think somebody said that we need to put music and rice We need a reset.
Yes.
We need a hard factory reset, because I do agree it's not just one thing. Maybe we could tip the scale a little bit towards certain things over other things, you know what
Yeah,
I'm
I
saying?
agree.
But overall, it is a ecosystem restart that we need to have when it comes to this, because yes, the consumer is only going to consume what they feel is what they like. And yes, there is a play of telling people, programming people to in fact like things. We're not going to act like that doesn't exist, because it
Yeah.
does. But majority of it is people dictating what they personally like first. You get what I'm saying? Like, I'm gonna be real. This is a podcast where we can be honest, we can be transparent, and we do it respectably, because this is Reasonable Dialogue Podcast. But Cat's Eye, right? This pop group. I'm not sure if you all, I'm sure you guys heard, but Cat's Eye is like I believe they're a K-pop group or whatever. The girls go crazy over Cat's Eye. That whole gnarly song that they got. Personally, I don't get it. I don't understand it. Maybe I am at that age where it's like, this ain't for me, and that's perfectly fine. You know what I'm saying? But the kids go crazy for it. I'm talking about millions and millions of streams. And honestly, even the numbers thing, which we could also talk about, how that plays a part in how people consume music. Because nowadays, everything is all about how many streams a song has, which considers it to be anything of quality or anything of value, versus it actually having, it actually being something to listen to, something that actually sounds good. So I say that to tie in with the whole gnarly song. It's like, me personally, I don't get it. I think the song is terrible. And I think somewhere that I seen or read where they actually they did it purposely to make a terrible song, but these people are eating it the fuck up. You get what I'm saying? So it's like, where do we start? Where is the actual starting point? Because to say there's not good music is bullshit. There's great music. If not, there's
Absolutely.
phenomenal artists out there. However, the eyes and the lights are just not on them as much as some of these lower tier artists that does have this great light and this great backing of, budget, et cetera, et cetera. So I think there's just so many different layers, like I said earlier, that we have to dive into. But at the same time, there has to be a root. Everything has a root to it. Where is the root of this problem so we can get to the solution? Because I don't want to say music, because let's bring up the Smino point as well. He did mention, if anybody didn't notice, because this is me quoting him, hip hop rap has gone back underground.
Mm.
How do we feel about that?
So when I saw that, I first I wasn't upset at it at all. Because it came, the way I interpreted it, and especially listening to Smino's music, it came almost as if it was just like, no, rap is kind of back in a safe space. That's the way I took him saying it. And then it's interesting because I love that we are reminding people that there is good music out there, and there's good hip hop out there. Like, the Cool Kids just dropped one of the dopest albums this year. And I want to shout out Sir Michael Rocks, because he retweeted Smino, and his tweet went with a little semi-viral too, where he basically reposted it and was like, a lot of people about to be confused while they no longer are hearing
Oh, I
about
saw that.
parties and shows, while they no longer know what's popping culturally, while they no longer feel the excitement of discovery. It's because you've been flushed out. The gates are back up and you ain't inside. So to see two MCs kind of have this perspective on what's happening right now, it made me think like, it made me honestly think about Monaleo Sexy Sulan. Like, are we really getting in a time where we kind of feel like not only does rap need to be archived and protected, we don't give a fuck if it charts or not, because we don't care about white majority's approval on a black art form.
But okay, I hate to play devil's advocate, because the devil never needs no advocate.
No, I love it.
But does this not hurt the music in a sense? Because if the charts equal money, right? In a sense, let's be real. If you're charting, there's money being made for that whole label, distribution, whatever the case may be. And
Yeah.
once again, I am a DJ. I'm still learning the music business. I don't know everything and I don't pretend to know everything. In fact, I like to be open to knowing things and learning things. So me saying anything on this podcast is never law, is never fact, unless I say I got it quoted from somewhere. But I say all this to say that if you being on the charts equals money for this label, money for that artist, money whatever. If you get a number one, there are more possibilities of bigger bags for you than there would be if you honestly probably wasn't on the charts, right? So if hip hop is not charting, does that not hurt hip hop as a genre, as I'm not saying the culture, because the culture never needed the charts. I think that's another thing too that people kind of don't realize, is that there is hip hop culture and then there's hip hop music, which is a part of the culture, but the culture of hip hop will always thrive and survive because it never was dictated based on numbers. It was always dictated based on survival and also thriving through adversity. That's where hip hop originated from, if we can be honest here. Creativity comes from how to survive. Niggas was singing gospel hymns because niggas was slaves trying to look for some form of hope. You get what I'm saying? So if that is the culture of hip hop, the music of hip hop, how does that not hurt the music in a sense where it leads back to the culture? I'm trying to make a point here. If
No,
it's
you're
not,
making it. You're making
We
it.
following it because that's like
Yeah.
that.
you get what I'm saying? Like,
Yeah.
I think that's the point that nobody is making. I think
Yep.
there is a very real distinction between hip hop culture and hip hop genre, right? Just as music. And I feel like, to your point, and I agree with you, it does hurt. And it's really what Rashad is talking about, where it's like, y'all talking like this shit don't matter, but like then when niggas lose their jobs, now it matters.
No,
Like
it really
it always
does.
matters. Yeah, it don't matter to the culture, but it does matter to music. Like
to music, yeah.
yeah, like it definitely matters. So to act like
You're
it doesn't
right.
is
And what I love
it's
about this
losing the plot.
conversation too is that I think also too, as much as we love like hip hop, I do think some people forget there's hip hop and then there's rap. Like when I think of just rap, you know what I'm saying? Like that is a definite black art form. Not to say hip hop isn't either, but I feel like rap and hip hop also kind of live and breathe in the same world, but like hip hop is the more mainstream.
Yes.
Out of rap
And I
itself.
love
Out
that
of
you
rap
said
itself, you know
that.
what I'm saying?
'Cause
Like,
I had tweeted that something along the lines of that caused a little like back and forth about it, because my thing is rap is fine. Rap is not dead. Rap is always going to be alive.
right.
But mainstream hip hop is what's dying, and I don't think that's a bad thing. I think what going back to the question you posed earlier, as far as like where does the onus live, as far as like where does the change need to be made, where does that start? I think back to a time where like Common was mainstream. Common, he wasn't making what today's idea of like mainstream hip hop. He was making like very woke music, and that was very mainstream. Like I think that personally, when you see the way like influence works, I think it's gonna take some of the larger acts to kind of really lean into like some artist development, more intentional song creation with some better subject matter to kind of lead the charge, or like from the curation standpoint, pushing the envelope with some of these like Ruben Vincents of the world,
was just
giving
about to say
them
it.
the bigger look, so that we, like I was talking to my friend about the other day, like putting a Ruben Vincent song like for Spotify, for example, on like one of them really big rap playlists is a statement. Because you have like the Ruben Vincent song next to the DDG song saying like this is hip hop. Like it's not just this mainstream
Or
shit. It's
Or the
too.
Zeddy Will guy. And it's no shade to Zeddy Will. I love Zeddy Will, but that's hip hop to me. When I think of Ruben, what he's doing, there's some hip hop there, but that's rap. Like he's rapping, where Zeddy Will is like that's hip hop. It's dancing. It's the TikTok. It's the virality. Because even the TikTok dancing, that's still an essential of one of the pillars. That's what we do. You know what I'm saying? Like,
so I just feel like it's to me, the onus is more so going to be on the artist, because the other part of it is, as much power as we give the labels, the power really is in the artist's hands. Because, like, for example, Kendrick, you're not gonna tell Kendrick what kind of music to make.
Exactly. You're not. You're not gonna tell
At
him
least
what
not
kind of music
now.
to make. And it's interesting that you brought up somebody like Common, because Common is from Chicago. And when I think about another era that I feel like kind of shifted how we see hip hop, was when the Chicago drill scene came in, because Chicago drill created a scenario for drill to pop up everywhere. But let's be honest, when Chief Keef was 16, 15 years old and made that video in his house, he didn't know he was about to change the world with that. He had no idea like what he was doing at the time. But I'm using that as an example. It's just like, that's a time in rap to me where like rap was like still kind of like charting, because what Chief Keef was doing at the time, like we didn't even have a name for it. We just knew it sounded fucking good. And it was like nothing we had ever heard before. But that was very much rap charting organically. And then it turned into like hip hop, whatever, and all of that stuff. But like, even when I think about how our subgenres have kind of popped up throughout the charts, I think that's what's kind of changing the conversation too, because now you got like what, sexy drill. And it's like, okay, is sexy drill the same as whatever is happening over here, like with Kendrick? Like, you know what, I hope I'm making a point, but I'm basically saying it's just like, I think a lot of our subgenres have also created the conversation around, okay, is rap charting,
Let's be honest. Let's be real. Let's be real. Let's be real. The shit that these niggas was signing upwards up to what in the last 5 years was gimmick rap.
yeah, since the
I
pandemic.
agree.
Was gimmick rap. Was gimmick. Niggas was signing TikTok artists. Niggas was giving deals left to fucking right. Niggas was doing a lot of fucking bullshit. Maybe even a little bit longer. I can't pinpoint the exact year, but any of our listeners or even y'all, you know there was a shift that happened when it went from it feeling like something like a summer 2016 type shit to shit just started feeling like, and I don't know if it was something with the pandemic or what.
I think it
but there
was. I
a
think it was
shift.
2019. I think 2019 was like the last, like,
There
yeah.
was a shift that happened where music and the and I don't want to say this is for everyone, because like I said, it's always about what you do pay attention to. Because when niggas be like, oh, there's no good R&B, it just tells me you're not paying attention. And I know this whole conversation because I done got into spackles and debacles with people on fucking timeline talking about, oh, the curators are not doing their job. It's like, bitch, do you not know nothing about music discovery on your own? Like, that shit really baffled me. I was really, 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 really confused on people not discovering music on their own. Like, we have come so far as a people. This is the craziest thing. But I say all this to say, like, there was a time where niggas was just signing a bunch of fucking bullshit. The music was just becoming more diluted, more diluted, more diluted to the bullshit that we fucking have now. And I'm going to be honest. Like I said, some of the cups are a little bit heavier than others. I'm going to say some of the cup being heavier than others has to be towards the label and what they were putting money behind as well. Because people were only wanting to be in this lane even more, considering of the little trinkets that the labels, in my opinion, just from what I personally can see, was like dangling to these artists. It's like, we'll give you this type of deal for this 30-second fucking viral TikTok song that you have, but there's no real development in it. It's like niggas was just pumping out microwave type of artists. And then these artists not lasting, especially in the hip hop space. Think about all the money that they done funneled into like a fucking, I don't know, but one of these so-called wannabe rappers. You know what I'm saying? The dilution of the rappers. They put so much funneling of the money in behind and in those type of people, the budget's going to those type of artists, that when it came time to actually putting money behind their actual employees, their actual anything that was of substance, they don't have the fucking budgets. They don't have the budgets. Why? Because we see this shit happen every day on this other side of even just me personally. You get what I'm saying? It's like you see budgets going towards different shit all of the time. And it's like, this shit don't even pop but it's popular because the kids are, it's microwavable. If we're gonna be honest, it's microwavable. If we're gonna be, if we're being transparent, I'm trying to say things without saying too many things, but at the same time, I know what I'm saying. I'll tell you guys offline. But it's like you see where the budgets was going with certain artists, and now it's like, oh, the real artists that are actually being performers, can actually rap, actually have substance, is like those are the ones that's winning. Now all of a sudden it's like the shift is going towards them, when the whole time that's where you should have been putting the dollars. You get what I'm saying? That's where the marketing budget should have went. That's where everything should have went. But I saw this, say without going off for a crazy tangent, is that everyone does play a part, but the labels play a bigger part, in my personal opinion. Whoever has the money and the power plays the biggest part always, because those are the ones who can dictate what we actually do like. But it's going to take the consumer to really push back against bullshit like AI, all this artificial bullshit that's coming out, the fucking lackadaisy and just non. And let's be real, we do have sections of music that you do need. Not everything needs to be a barred up type of situation, but we do need substance and we do need feel in the music. And that's just what I end with.
Yeah, I agree. I also think, and maybe this might be for another episode, sisters. This might be for another episode, but I'm curious to examine how women in hip hop over the last 10 years and the growth of women MCs has also contributed to this conversation piece, and has the amount of women rappers also impacted what we're seeing. But I think that's a whole nother conversation. That's a dissertation, but I feel like there's something there.
Just really quickly on that, because I've seen conversations about that too. But the conversations have been trying to blame women, the signing of women
What?
for, yes, that's what I personally have seen, because people will say
I saw that. Yeah, I saw
I
that.
didn't see that, and I'm coming from a whole different perspective. Like,
No, I've seen that. They're trying to blame the fact that so many women being signed recently and the budgets going towards them is a reason why there's not a lot of money in the music,
that's
because
sexist.
they wasted
Yeah.
money basically on women rappers, and
That's
for them to
sexist.
not have no return. But I'm like, you niggas pump out more of these fucking dumbass rapper niggas
Hello, like,
more than anything. There's always a new nigga every day I see. But okay. Anyways, but I guess another time, another day.
Millie Vanilli ass. Let me stop.
Not Millie, but Nilly.
Like,
Anyways. Well, I guess overall, music to me, hip hop music specifically, is just a veil being removed, if we're gonna be real. People want to feel things. People want to relate more to what's going on in this world versus the superficial shit. So we are going to see a shift in music. We are going to see a shift in what people do consume, especially as the times do turn. Music has been produced because of certain times as well. So I'm interested to see where the shift is going to go. But I'm not mad at music, well, the genuine and the culture of rap being back underground, because I do agree certain things do need to be gatekept, because people come into our culture and dilute it and don't respect it, which we've seen very much so within just the last few years. So I'm not mad at it gatekeeping that, but I do want hip hop to be on the charts, because I believe that we are the most influential of in black music, period. Black music is influential, and we are every genre, if we're going to be honest. Your rock, your country, whatever, but they don't want to give us those flowers. So that being said, hip hop does deserve to be on the charts, because everyone has some form of hip hop in their music. No matter what type of music you listen to, there's a form of black music in it. So I do think hip hop deserves to be on the charts. Now, the type of hip hop that deserves to be on the charts, that's another discussion. But hopefully the artists get in their bags and get creative and really start putting out the music that they not only want to see for themselves, but also, the music community wants to see as well. So hopefully we'll see what happens 2026.
yeah. And I think hip hop not only deserves to be on the charts, but hip hop deserves, and if not, like, should be positioned as the face and vessel for a lot of these large brands. Like when I see Nike celebrating the Dodgers back-to-back win with a Kendrick Lamar squabble up, like that's hip hop, that's rap, that's culture. When I'm on the train and I see Doechii flashing through a Samsung ad and that's all you see next to everything else, like that's still hip hop and culture to me too. And I think stuff like that is also important. You know what I'm saying? Like as we think about like lifestyle brands, because I'm be honest, like as much as I do love the charts, and I this is somebody I grew up checking the MySpace and Billboard page. Like I used to go to billboard.com and see like, okay, who is number one this week? You know what I'm saying? But if I can be honest, like yes, I want it to chart, but like I want hip hop to thrive. Like
Mm.
because I don't even know if Billboard still holds the same weight that it used to like 20 years ago. In terms of like a metrics of, you know, like success or something like that, or if not success, impact. Like, so I don't know. I hope I'm making sense, but
You are.
I feel that. Anyways, we gotta have some hip hop connoisseurs on the show that could talk about their personal.
Well, Dylan, he's a hip hop journalist from Jersey. He wants to join our show. We should get him on.
yeah.
Okay, Dylan, we gonna hit
We
you.
gotta get Ruben and Ninth on too. Like,
Oh, we are. That's already in. That's already in motion.
I love
like
it.
that is hip hop to the core.
Yeah.
Hip hop, hip hop, hip hop. Anyways, y'all, what else we got on this docket here? Oh, well, I don't know if you guys want to briefly talk about it, but there's been some controversy going on with this Vogue article. I don't know if you guys seen having a boyfriend is embarrassing.
What?
Yeah.
I did see that. I did see that. I didn't read the article, but I saw the conversation around it, and a lot of girls not girls, but women were saying like, yeah, it is embarrassing because we want husbands now.
Yeah, there's been a shift in being a girlfriend is embarrassing, basically, and now we have to skyrocket to. I didn't read the article too, so I don't want to misquote or misrepresent anything, but based off of the opinions and the comments, I'm gonna be real with y'all. I think everyone needs to just find a way to decenter men to a certain degree, men included. Like we gotta figure out how we can get to a space of like, because I'm gonna be real, regardless of how you feel, a person's choice is a person's choice. So if they want to be in a relationship, that's still their choice. I hate even just the thought process of any of this being relevant to dating, to relationships, like these even ideologies. Like, why is being with somebody embarrassing? Now, yes, men can be embarrassing. We've seen the track record. I'm not refuting what she's saying. She has a great point, okay? I'm not mad at you, sister. But I think the fear of rejection and embarrassment has caused people to really not really not fall in true genuine like and love with each other. I think we're all so guarded and so hurt and damaged from certain things and behaviors and, patterns of people that we don't even give a chance to truly genuinely fall in love, or even the possibility of having heartbreak, which comes with the territory of love. Like, I get it. Posting a boyfriend and that nigga cheat on you or do some dumb shit to embarrass you, the embarrassment hurts. But it's like, if you live that life and that was the choice that you made, is it that bad? Like, is it like, I don't know. I just think like we're so much in a society, because I do agree, the whole centering of men and making, men your whole personality, your whole identity, that shit is whack to me. Like, bitch, you have a whole vagina. Are you nuts? Like, this is crazy. But to like make it seem like relationships or just anything, once again, I didn't read the article, but just based off the comments, just to be in relationships, et cetera, making it seem like it's just this embarrassing thing. It's like, I don't know. I think we're becoming more and more stoic in our feelings towards each other. and less vulnerable to the possibilities of either being in love or experiencing heartbreak. Either or is still an experience. And I think for me, that's just where that's where I'm at in my life. I'm just here for the experience. I don't really have no attachments to the outcomes of things. Like, yes, I would love to be married. I would love to, and not marriage just for the sake of a name or a title, but the relationship, the building, the moment of friendship that leads to the romantic, that leads to the, hey, I want to spend my forever with you. Like, yes, I would love to experience that, and the love that grows into, multiplication of children. I really want to have kids out of genuine love. I want to get married out of genuine love. You know what I'm saying? I do have those desires. But is it the center of my world? Absolutely not. Is my life lit regardless of if I'm married and have kids? Absolutely. So I don't know, y'all. I just thought that article, or just the comments more so, because once again, I didn't read it, but I did see the qualms of people either having something negative against the article or being all for the whole conversation of being a girlfriend is kind of cringy. Why would you do anything as being a girlfriend? But it's like, how do you get to be a wife without being a girlfriend? I don't know. I'm confused on it. Or even being a husband without being a boyfriend first. Like, I don't know, y'all. It's a weird time we're in.
This is my first time seeing the article, and I'm exhausted. Sisters, I'm exhausted because, to your point, even having an article is having a boyfriend embarrassing now. That's male-centered. Like, even taking time to write this dissertation is male-centered to me. And it's not to take away from her feelings and the woman who wrote it. I hear you, Shantae. But at the same time, as somebody who will trip, fall, stumble in love and do not care and will keep getting back up, I will hit my head, I will get back up. I will hit my head, I will get back up, because I just love love. Like, I just do. And that ain't
And
got
I
nothing.
am love, so it don't
And
matter
I
if
am
you
love,
know what I'm saying?
so it's like, that got nothing to do with a man. I will fall in love with a sandwich. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, I fall in love at the sound of Jan's voice sometimes. You know what I'm saying? I always say, like, she got a R&B voice. So it's like, that's not the thing. But I think, to your point, like what Milan was saying earlier, is I really don't like this idea of us, and I know where it comes from, but I just don't like this idea of us men or women thinking it's cringy to have a partner. Because that's basically what this is saying. If you think about it from both perspectives, right? If it's a man or a woman, it's like, we should really just bask in our vulnerability. But I understand that comes with having to feel safe. And a lot of people, places, and things don't give safety sometimes. They very much give caution. You know what I'm saying? And certain things. But I don't know. I personally, I don't think article. It's an opinion piece. It's definitely an opinion piece.
It's an opinion piece, yeah.
Yeah. So I'm not gonna take away from her opinion, but for those that are seeking, like, partnership, I think about something Michelle Obama said, where she just said she feels like our generation just gives up too fast. Like,
I agree.
and I agree with her. And I think about it in a sense of just like, even when you think about it in a business standpoint, right? Like, if you want to build a lucrative business, even what we're doing with our podcast, like, it's going to take a couple years for this to be, and I'm not saying like we not going to have our shit now, you know what I'm saying? We already doing, getting our trophies, doing what we doing. But I know where we want this to be. In order to build a brand success, it's going to take time. Like, you don't become Jan overnight. You don't become DJ Miss Milan overnight. You don't become Kendrick SZA overnight. It takes time. It takes nurturing. It's the same with a platonic or romantic relationship. Like, it takes time.
Nobody want to be nurturers no more. Like,
Yeah,
you niggas know how long it takes for a motherfucking tree to be a tree that you see in these streets, bitch?
You know what else I realize? People don't necessarily understand all of the facets of, like, what intimacy looks like before you get to the boyfriend-girlfriend relationship, right? And I'm gonna honestly say, like, I was guilty of that for a long time too, right? Like, it's like you get to know a person for like a month, and then it's like, all right, I'm ready to be your girlfriend. Like, what are we doing? But I think And yeah, there's also nothing wrong with that because sometimes you know
The vibes
there's
is
nothing
there.
wrong with that.
Yeah, the
Come
vibe is
to
there.
lie
I'm
like a
But there's
motherfucker.
also this element of like, like really getting to know a person and vulnerability and friendship and like, like pouring yourself into that person just to know who they are. And I think people are even afraid to do that. So it's like, how can you expect to even get to the relationship, then the marriage, if y'all not even like close friends?
Ooh, yes.
And what I will say too is, I will say, like you say, yeah, everything, not every process has to be like a whole, we dating for this amount of time. This, sometimes it's a vibe, like I can meet you today, you fall in love, and you know what I'm saying? Love bombing don't work on me because I am a lover. Don't. You supposed to treat me that way the very first day you meet me. You supposed to make me your all. Yes, I do believe that. I'm not crazy. You are for not treating me that way. But I feel like we as a society, number one, niggas just need to be honest. I think the lack of honesty, because people want to do wrong in a sense and not get caught, it's like, yo, just be real. If you want to date other people, date other people. If you want to be exclusive, be exclusive. Like the whole running around the world trying to play games and shit, like cut the games out
Yep.
and just be transparent. And it's okay if niggas fall out. It's okay if you break up. It's okay if something doesn't work. Like people put so much emphasis on this thing having to be this thing. And it's like, that's why I said earlier, I don't have no expectations of outcomes for anything except for me to show up doing my very best, being my very best, and having the very best experience that I can have and taking from whatever it is that I can take. That's why me now being open to dating is going to be a whole different experience dealing with people, because I don't have that anxious attachment type of, thought process to immediately, like, yes, I have my fantasies of, yes, oh, what if we would be married and what would life be like? That's natural and normal, but it's not a crazy woman thing where it's like, oh my gosh, this is my dream, this is what I want, this is what I'm gonna like. No, 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 no. Like, let's fucking relax, okay? You know what I'm saying? Like, it don't gotta be all that. You don't have to be embarrassed dating somebody if everyone was just honest about what the fuck they were doing and not hiding like little ass kids. Like,
Okay.
that's just really what the fuck it is, bruh. So for me, dating is not as difficult as I've always said, and I truly do believe it is not that difficult when you're honest and you just truly come with exactly what you're trying to get. You know what I'm saying? If you want some vagina, nigga, put that on the table. You will be surprised at how many women will be okay with giving you some poussoir. You will be so surprised, okay?
I think the other side of it too, the last thing I'll say is there's also this like unraveling of self that you need to do before you decide you want X, Y, and Z out of a relationship. Because I feel like more so women, but men also, but a lot of women, I feel like they don't even really give themselves a real opportunity to know who they are, to even know what you would I like realistically want from a man. It's like, and then the other thing too is like, fuck the ones, like, what do you need from a man? Because I think when you know yourself, then you really get to like what your needs actually are. And it's not all the wants in a relationship that are gonna like carry the relationship. It's the needs being met. And if your needs are met, but the wants are met, then the relationship gonna be lacking anyway. But there's no way for you to know what you need if you don't know yourself. So it's
Preach,
like I feel like a lot of us need to like reel it in and like go do some like hobbies. Like go like Jazz's point earlier, do some romantic, or that was you, Milan, like do some romantic shit for your friends so that you know what romance looks like for you and like how you like to give it. It doesn't have to be towards a man, or like romanticize your life, like go on a date or with yourself, like find different restaurants, because then later on like, okay, well, when I start dating again, I want to take my man to XYZ restaurants because when I was single I loved it here. Like everything doesn't have to be man, 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 man. Like, what do you fucking like? Because what and who are you? Because that's what's gonna really like align you with the right person for you when you know. Because if you don't know yourself, you're gonna be settling for a lot of shit, whether you realize it or not.
You're gonna be settling and not living to not thriving to your full potential, because when you do let go, I'm telling you, baby, it comes full force. Like now, it really will come full circle. And I think to what both of you ladies are saying, I think what's also important too, whether if it's a man or a woman, it's one thing to be vulnerable or experience intimacy in different ways, but it's also another thing to have a open container of space where somebody is allowing you to do that safe.
Ooh, yes, yes,
Because let's
yes.
be honest, a lot of people are not providing the safe spaces for our romance and our love to thrive. But if you have someone that is allowing that space to grow and build, and it's just like, I know whatever you're going through, it's heavy, but I'm here to make that load lighter. And I think that's on both ends. Like, you're there to make or at least help the load be a little bit lighter, because we're all going to go through life. Like, your partner, your person, your friend, your mom, whatever, everybody's going through something or navigating something. But if you are in somebody's life as their potential partner or dating, it's just like, okay, how can we make this load lighter together, instead of
Mhm.
adding on to it? Because
Right. The
I may
problem
have,
versus us.
you know what I'm
Mhm.
saying? Like, how can we stay solution oriented instead of pick pointing at problems that probably don't even exist? Like,
Mhm.
And if
So,
they do exist, we can be adults to talk about it and
yeah.
get through it. Hello. My God, today and tomorrow and yesterday.
My God. Right. But no, that was a crazy article though. That's
Yeah, I gotta dive into it some more, but it really did cross my timeline just because of the backlash that I seen on the Clock app and people on the Twitter streets, basically, either having their agreements towards it or refuting against it, basically. But like we said, everyone need to decenter men. Relationships aren't everything. I do agree, but relationships are something, and we're not meant to be alone. There's a reason why we have partners in this world. But romance is not just supposed to be sexual and just, for just romantic partners. It should be for everything, like you said. Romanticize your entire life. If you ride it on a motherfucking bus, bitch, romanticize this bus driver like you in a Tyler Perry movie, ho. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, romanticize your life. Buy yourself them flowers. Take yourself on that date. Take yourself to that Sephora. Trick on yourself. $300, that ain't nothing when you pay it. You know what I'm saying? And then you start to develop the habits of what it means to take care of yourself and be treated the kind of way you want to be treated, like you say, Yon. So, listen, I don't know about y'all, but I don't care about none of these niggas. I don't care about none of these niggas. And I'm telling you, when you don't give a fuck about these niggas, they come even more. So trust when we say don't give a fuck about these niggas, y'all. Worry about yourself, ladies. Worry about yourself. Anyways, y'all.
is it that time?
It's about that time, but real quick, I want to shout out our new mayor, Zohran Mamdani.
Yes.
He's out here in these streets, and I'm gonna be real with you. If anybody who's a mayor that can be outside in these streets and smoke hookah and it be okay, it would be Zohran Mamdani. You know why? Because he's the only one that should be smoking hookah. I believe it's a part of his culture. You, Eric Adams, with your one earring, you gotta go, and you're about to go. Okay, Zohran was outside in these streets. I don't know if y'all saw, but he made his way towards our good homies showcase and Flygerians party.
Literally, like, I was crying seeing him. I'm gonna be at that spot on Wednesday. That's what's
Dambala done went up, okay? Zohran Mamdani stopped by Dambala. He's actually been on a run recently, being outside doing his campaigning. Somebody said that politicians kind of remind them of like Vogue balls, like ballroom
wow.
Vogue battles and shit, because them niggas really got to go at it and do everything to get people to vote for them. So him being outside legitly in the right way, because Eric Adams was literally like fucking well outside at La Marina and shit doing the most, never helping the people. But at least Zoran is helping the people. You know what I'm saying? He's trying his best. I'm all for anyone who wants to literally do the right thing by the people and can relate to the people. I mean, he lives in a rent stabilized apartment. He takes the train. He literally has a Muslim wife. I think that's awesome representation, in my opinion. I'm tired of seeing white folks in office. We need more color. That being said, I'm for Zoran. I have to read up more about what he plans to do for the city, etc., in his campaign. But so far, he's gonna get my vote. Barack already gave him I guess his blessings of that. And I think it was you, Jazz, that said that he kind of reminds you of a Barack in the first term when we first hired him to be our president.
Yes, it's so funny too because I saw somebody say that Zohran Weekend is low key the best NYC tourism ad in a minute.
Listen, I'm not mad at that. A Zoran weekend is fire.
And it was like he was at the garden with freaking Kid Mario. Like, I'm just like, wow. But yeah, shout out to him. And to your point too, like, yes, that's what we should be seeing. We should not be seeing fucking Eric Adams with his fucking Trinity do rag on. Like,
Please get him out of here. He's terrible. He's been terrible. I don't care what nobody says. A few updates. I guess the Dodgers. I guess LA. You cannot say nothing bad about LA, baby. Okay, LA is on a streak, and I think we got to give it to Big Kenny over there because the Dodgers won the World Series against Toronto. Think about the symbolism is crazy. Wow, they really not like us. This is nuts. This is nuts. Anyways, the Dodgers won their back-to-back World Series against Toronto, and literally as soon as they won, a new ad, Nike celebrated with their Squabble Up with Kendrick Lamar's song Squabble Up for their Nike ad. So shout out to them. Shout out to the Dodgers.
Shout out to Kendrick too. I'm gonna be honest, we gotta talk about it. I think Kendrick is having like a DMX 50 Cent Jay-Z type run right now. He really is.
But he's quiet. I won't even say 50 Cent because 50 Cent talked too much. But Kendrick, he's been quiet. He has not said a peep from like nothing at all. He said nothing about anything. He's kept it in them raps. And I think he is the most professional opponent of hip hop that we've seen that has literally handled his shit the way how he handled his shit.
He's also like a stellar example of like what I'm talking about when I say that you don't have to be gimmicky to be mainstream hip hop, but also be genuine and authentic. Like I feel like there's this like conversation around like mainstream not being able to be a certain kind of hip hop, and I really don't agree with that. I feel like mainstream is what the culture decides, and if the culture is supporting bullshit, then that's what the mainstream is going to be. But if we pivot our attention to more of the Kendrick-esque, or it doesn't even got to be Kendrick-esque, it just got to have more like subject matter, substance, then we can redefine what mainstream looks like. So
yeah,
shout out to Kendrick.
Because let's be honest, Good Kid, Mad Cities is still charting. It's still charting. It has not left the charts at all. It hasn't left since it debuted. So, woo! Shout out to hip hop.
I just think it's dope too. Like after the whole party is dead shit. Like, look what the fuck is happening right now. This is crazy.
It's the symbolism is real.
It's crazy.
And it's not even just the music, it's the politics, it's the world. It's
yeah, like how the fuck, like you fucking Oracle nigga. What the fuck?
Oracle nigga is crazy. Of course, we want to send our love and condolences to D'Angelo's family and loved ones. His funeral was held in Virginia. Was it held in Virginia? Yes, he did. He recently just had his funeral. Yes, it was held in Virginia. I think I saw the what they call the program.
Yeah.
Yeah, I seen the program going around. I seen somebody tweet that. Damn, seeing the program made it even more real for them that he's really gone. And just another reminder that we lost yet another legend already in 2025. But I think, Jan, you personally, I seen something that you tweeted that made it saddened me as I seen it, but you mentioned the whole Stevie Wonder basically.
Yes.
I'm glad you said that because I was going to say two things. Like one, I thought like it actually made me emotional seeing that he performed because so that was one of the last songs I played for my dad. I was on his favorite songs, and then like even for his funeral, I wanted Bino French to perform as, and then the church was like, "Oh, you can't sing that song because it's not a gospel song." Whatever.
Oh my God.
So
whatever.
seeing that, like, because I think D'Angelo died like either the day before or a couple days before my dad. So like seeing that he performed that, it gave me like this little bit of like, I don't know. It felt like a warm hug. Cause I'm like, damn, it wasn't for my dad, but it was for my dad to me.
I feel that.
The tweet you're referencing, I had said like I think it's like a beautiful honor but a heavy burden for Stevie to have to be the person that's singing at the funerals of all of his peers. It's like I can't
Yeah.
imagine carrying that weight because it's like it's again, it's an honor because
Mm-hmm.
you are the Stevie Wonder and you are like essentially like transitioning these people and their souls out of the world. But I also feel like I just can't imagine like I'm the one that's left and everybody's dying and I'm still here. Who's dying next? Like I just can't imagine what that feels like at his age and just like
Yeah.
it's just it got to be real heavy to carry.
Yeah.
So definitely praying for Stevie. I hope that his heart is light because I know I personally couldn't imagine carrying all of that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I thought of you when I seen that too. I was like, wow. I said she did mention Stevie need to be a part of something. Damn it. It's right there.
Yeah.
Yeah. So sad. So that you tweeting that really made me put in perspective. Like Stevie Wonder really is one of our lasting phenom of legends that we have. And I say phenom with all due respect because he is a phenom out of all the artists that we've ever experienced that's still alive. Um,
Oh, before we pass the Stevie
yeah.
topic, the other thing I saw on the flip side of the Stevie conversation, y'all on Twitter really need to relax with the Stevie conversation around him. Essentially, I feel like it was like I don't know what sparked the conversation, but there was just all this conversation around him not being who he is, and it's just like, are y'all dead ass?
Like he's a what?
Like,
Like a clone? Or
no, as in
he
like
not
he's
Stevie
not
Wonder.
him. Like he's not Stevie. He does not like worthy of all the like all the acclamation and praise we give him. Like who the fuck? Like do y'all know who Stevie Wonder is?
Listen, sometimes you just got to have a little bit more discernment, sis, and realize that people
No.
are sick.
I just thought it was crazy. It was just like I never thought I would see the day
People are
where
sick.
such a conversation would exist on the timeline. Like, what are we talking about?
People are sick. People are sick.
Sure.
Okay,
But yeah, shout out to
I
Stevie
can't
Wonder.
say it enough. Like, listen, the solution to life when you see people say crazy madness, it's like seeing a fucking raccoon in the daytime foaming at the mouth, walking on two fucking legs.
That's what
That
it was giving.
person is
Okay.
sick.
That's what it was
I won't even
giving.
entertain.
Literally
I won't
run
even
the other
entertain the
way.
conversations. I won't. And you know what? Let's leave this here and say one word that my pastor said that really struck a chord in me. He said, "You have to feel offended when you argue with crazy people. If you
Okay.
don't feel offended, that means you crazy too." And I'm gonna have to agree with my good pastor, okay? Because sometimes I'll be looking at people on the timeline like, "You really think like this?" Okay.
No, literally every day. Like, girl, I'll be like, okay. We gonna leave that
It's
there.
it's time to wrap up this rock that's floating in this air in any minute now. But anyways, y'all, I don't know if y'all want to touch on the Olandria and Huda versus racism
Next
versus
episode. No, I'm just kidding.
okay.
I'm sorry, sisters. I'm just like
Nah, but that being said, y'all, I'm ready for my favorite section.
Yeah. I can go first this week.
Big Yonder Don is going to go first for our favorite segment of our podcast, the set list, where we give you all of the things that we have been doing this week, listening to, watching. It don't matter. We did it, so you going to know that we did it, and we're going to put it on the set list. Okay, so go ahead, Big Yon.
So first on my set list, still in the vein of Stevie Wonder and D'Angelo, is Questlove's personal D'Angelo tribute in Rolling Stone. I thought it gave a lot of context to their relationship. It was a very beautiful and moving read. So if you have not seen that, definitely check that out. As I said, I went to the Little Sims concert, so her tour is also on my set list. If she hasn't tapped into your city yet, definitely go to a show. It's really dope. It features Larizzi as the opener. Shout out to him. He's also amazing. So on in line with that, I'm also gonna include a couple of her songs on my set list. So Little Sims and Cleo Soul Woman. Love that. That actually might be my favorite from her catalog from what I've learned of her over the last couple weeks. Little Sims and Cleo Soul Selfish and Little Sims Free. She actually performed Free. Well, she performed a couple of these live, but she did like a cappella version of Free and then went into the actual song with the band backing her. And it was like so powerful. The shit she's saying in that song is, I needed to hear it. So that would be like number one listening suggestion for me if you get into Little Sims. Jalen Josie released a new single called Won't Force You. I believe that she is the next R&B girl that is going to make waves. She's really, really talented, amazing voice, very beautiful gown. She's beautiful. Um, she's also very humble. I think that she has all the makings of a star, so I'm looking forward to seeing what she does over the next year or so. Masego returns with a new single called Spin the Block. For anybody who knows, I'm like diehard Masego fan. Never missed a concert. Shout out to him. Monte Booker's new album, Noise, Meaning, and that's my set list.
Ooh.
You can go,
I
Jazz.
can go second. Yes, thank you, ladies. Okay, so in the midst of, everything that's been going on this week, I've been trying to pour some good literature back into myself. So I think some people forgot that Michelle Obama dropped another book. So I have been tapping into her latest one, which is The Light We Carry, Overcoming in Uncertain Times. And it's really dope just to kind of just see Michelle Obama from this lens, because I feel like ever since her podcast that she's dropped with her brother, people have tried to, throw stones at Michelle Obama and or twist her words as they do with everything else. But I feel like this book really captures a lot of not only where she's at in her life and space right now, but what she is wanting for the next generation. So shout out to Michelle. Speaking of rap, I gotta shout out this new record from Dave East, Big Sean, and Bun B. It's called Man in the Mirror. It's off his latest album, Karma 4. But I thought the message in the song was pretty dope. And again, they rapping. So it's like if you are looking for some raps, it's out there. You just gotta know where to go. Leon Thomas has a really dope record on his latest project that I really like, Feel Alive. That one has stood out to me the most. That has been a repeat, and it's just exciting to see him really thrive in this R&B space, and I am so ready to see him sweep all those Grammys. Like, I want it so bad. In the light of R&B and, just a lot of the things that were going on this week, I recently fell back in love with those R&B tracks that used to be at the end of the album. Y'all remember back in the day when the R&B artists would have at least like one gospel-esque type
Yes,
record
to end it off.
to end it all or to wrap it up? So those records have been heavy in rotation this week. I want to shout out Mariah Carey, Fly Like a Bird. That's on my set list, and so is Joyride and Brandy's He Is. I feel like those are like R&B slash records that were written by gospel artists, and Brandy's He That is technically a gospel record. So shout out to them. Shout out to Karen Clark Sheard for Bomb and Gilead, because that has also been heavy and repeat with
Hello, somebody.
on my playlist. So yeah, I want to add that song there. Vic Mensa's Instagram, I want to put on my set list. I know that may sound awkward
He's
and
so
crazy,
funny.
but Big Mensa's Instagram has really become, in my opinion, not only a place for those who aren't really up to date on what's happening in Chicago and ICE, but I really love how Big Mensa has just like grown and just became this man of not only just rap but knowledge too. I love seeing him evolve. So Big Mensa's Instagram, check it out. BravoCon was this weekend. I will be at BravoCon next year. Andy Cohen, if you are listening, please make sure I have a seat next to the Potomac girls or my Atlanta OGs. I need to be in between somewhere. I want to just shout out the lifestyle branding around BravoCon in the Housewives. For the first time ever, there is a Housewives sneaker. BravoCon did a deal with Reebok, and they have this sneaker that they are promoting. And I just think that's really cool, because when you think about the Housewife franchise and how long the Housewives have been in the reality TV kind of universe, and to see where they are now, it's like, wow, they have a whole convention. It's crazy. And last but not least, the Proud Family, Louder and Prouder, is out, guys. They're on season 3, and it's actually really, really good. It's fun, it's wholesome, and it's kept me very warm this week. And that's my set list. I'm going to pass it off to my good sis.
And I love that you added the Proud Family. I love that. Okay, so this week, right, on my set list, what I've been listening to. Okay, this song I heard on TikTok. I heard it more so on Instagram Reels. It's called by, I don't know how to say her name, Rosin Murphy, Ram Malama Bang Bang. That song, it's been like the theme for Halloween. It is the funniest beat. Oh my God. I just love this song. I have to put it on. It's just one of those songs. It sounds like a Halloween ass song, but I follow the artist, everything. It's one of those beats. It's just, I don't know. I just love it. Really, really love it. Anyway, my good girl, Jalen Josie, she dropped her song, Won't Force You. When I say a force to be reckoned with, Jalen Josie, she gives me very much so modern Whitney Houston vocally vibes. Very much so. I love her as an artist. I love her voice. I love her pen. She also produces her own tracks. I mean, the girl will be in the car giving you a whole car studio session, and she's just phenomenal. And I had the pleasure of working with Jalen myself, and I'm not saying this
What's
to be
up, world?
biased,
It's
but
your girl,
Jalen Tree
Jazz.
is honestly
Your girl, DJ Miss
very,
Vaughn.
very talented, and I'm
It's your
so
girl,
grateful
Sneed.
to
Thank you guys for
see
tapping
all
into
of the work
another
that she's been
episode of
putting
the
in
New
these
York
couple of
Dialogue
years
podcast. Thank you
come
guys for tapping
into
in every
fruition,
week.
where
It's been a
she's going to be
time
dropping her
with your
debut
girls
album, I believe,
Condo.
later
We
this
really, really
month.
appreciate the
If
love you guys
not,
pour
is
into
it?
us.
No, I
If
don't
you're
think it'll
rocking
really
with the
drop, but her
conversation,
single Won't
make sure
Force
you
You
follow us on
definitely
all
something that
social.
you
We're
guys
on
need to tap
Twitter,
into.
Instagram, and
Tyler, Mr.
YouTube at
Radio.
DJ
So the
Dialogue.
crew has
And
been
be sure to
running
rate,
this
subscribe,
song while we're
comment,
on
like,
tour.
tell
So
a
I have
friend,
added
tell a
to this
friend,
week's
and
set
be
list for
sure
the
to
Live
stay
from the Swamp
reasonable.
crew. I've been listening to this song Mimosa 2000. Is very funky, like Miami bass. I love that song. Okay, so I have to add it. I don't know how to say the artist's name. I know Tony Garcia, Nieja, Faruko 2000 is on it. Okay, shout out to y'all. I'm in my like international bag heavy. Anyways, Haley, is I'm not saying her name right? Haley from the duo Chloe and Haley. She dropped her album. Was it titled Love or something like it? I took a listen to it fully because I listened to projects the way how they're supposed to be listened to, where it's top to bottom. I gave it a listen, and I'm gonna be very honest with y'all. She did her thing on this project, y'all. I'm not gonna lie. I really did enjoy it for my ears. What happened?
I said I'm gonna tap in. My bad. I'm gonna tap
Yeah,
in.
no. Yeah, she did her thing on this because it was just vulnerable. I do love the production, her vocals on it. Some of the features, some of the songs that I did like was like Bite Your Lip, No Warning featuring her. It was great to hear her voice again. When I first heard her on the track, I was like, this voice sounds so familiar and warm. And then I looked at it and I was like, this is her. And I'm like, I'm so grateful for her. Brave Face, Alone featuring Mariah the Scientist. That was one of the bangers for me. I was like, okay, Mariah, we hear you, sister girl. His Type, definitely one of those songs that I enjoyed. Also Ari Lennox, Under the Moon. The reason why I love this song is because when she sings the chorus, moo, she's literally howling at the fucking moon. And it's the craziest and coolest thing to me. I mean, if you get it, you get it. If you don't, too bad. But for me, I love that she took the risk of even howling at the motherfucking moon vocally. Like, I thought that was dope to me, to be honest with you. Daniel Caesar, we decided to release him from jail because, you know, Black Twitter had him locked up, and I decided that I was gonna, you know, give him his piece of freedom as well. So I decided to listen to Son of, how you say it? Serbi? I don't know how to say it, but Daniel, once again, you show us exactly why you are who you say you are. And although the Black community was not pleased with you siding with the Caucasians, we will give you forgiveness because you are one of us. And I will always forgive one of us first, if anything. So, Daniel Caesar, I must give you your tens. Come forward and get your baddie chain. For me personally, I love it. I love it. I personally, I liked a lot of the songs on it, to be honest. It gave me cinematic music, very deep, dark, I believe he's telling a story. I believe this is his father on the cover or some shit like that. But outside of that, I have to dive into it some more. I personally loved it. I thought it was a good body of work. And yeah, you know, Daniel, you are who you say you are. And I believe that is all that I have on my personal set list as far as music. As you guys know, I'm still on this road, live from the swamp, so we're going to add that to the set list. And until I get back to normal civilization where I could be a part of the world, this is all you guys will get from me. Okay, that's my time.
Can I just say that, like, I literally love y'all set list. Like, I be studying, like, y'all was saying some stuff. I'm like, oh, I gotta listen to that or plug back into that. So I love it. I'm here for it. I'm here for getting hip. I'm here for us, you know, like educating again, a pillar of hip hop knowledge. So I will be listening to everything y'all got on y'all set list. And lastly, because I almost forgot, again, if you're in New York City, even if you're not in New York City, if you want to donate to Hurricane Melissa anyway, canned goods, school supplies, kids don't have certain things that they need for school, clothing is needed, people don't have electricity. So any capacity that you can give, if it's not, you know, at any of these events that are happening in New York City, Chicago, Atlanta, around the world, come to More Vibes, please, because not only will there be ass shaking and reggae dancing, but we are donating too. So yeah.
Love that. Love that. Well, you guys already know this has been another amazing episode of Reasonable Dialogue Podcast. Make sure you are tapped in with the community here at the condo on Twitter and on Instagram by following our social media pages individually and collectively over at Reasonable Dialogue. We drop episodes weekly to give you guys the motherfucking vibes from your girls. You know it's your girl. Now let me stop.
Yo, they gotta drag me out to the condo. I don't wanna go.
I don't wanna leave. Oh, can't sing that song. Damn, fuck. These niggas. Damn you niggas. Damn you niggas.
So funny.
Anyways, that's our time, y'all. And that's a wrap. I don't know what else to say. I'm DJ Miss Milan, I guess.
Jazz, and I don't want to get out the condo. I think I'm just gonna.
Because I'm sad. I'm leaving you guys. So whatever. Just wrap the shit up. Hurry up. Hurry up. Hurry up.
And it's your girl, Jan Snee. You only gotta go home, but y'all gotta get the fuck out of here, including you, Jazz.
I'm taking my lighter too.
Bye.
What's up, world? It's your girl, Jazz.
It's your girl, DJ Miss Milan. And it's your girl, Jan Sneed. Thank you guys for tapping into another episode of the Reasonable Dialogue Podcast. Thank you guys for tapping in every week and spending time with your favorite girls at the condo. We really, really appreciate the love you guys pour into us. And if you're rocking with the conversations, make sure you follow us on all socials. We are on Twitter, Instagram, and YouTube at Reasonable Dialogue. And be sure to rate, subscribe, comment, like, tell a friend to tell a friend, and be sure to stay reasonable.